don't confuse your anxiety and intuition together, because your intuition will never make you make decisions out of like a rush. Your anxiety will.
Hello and welcome back to the Beauty Industry Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Sammy Kennedy, and today I am so excited to introduce someone who has absolutely mastered the art of reinvention, brand building, and creative impact. You might know him from your feed as the one whose videos stop the scroll, or maybe you've seen his makeup, lash, and brow work that speaks for itself. Jacob Stella started creating YouTube videos at just 15 years old, worked his way onto the Mac counter straight out of high school and built a personal brand that exploded online. But what's even more impressive is what came after. In this episode, we dive into the real story behind the glow up, how Jacob went from YouTube sensation to building a brow, lash, and makeup specialist studio and becoming a finalist for Salon of the Year 2024. We unpack the pivots, personal growth, and decisions behind the scenes that led to the launch of his own makeup academy and a brand built for real longevity. Jacob, welcome to the podcast. How are you feeling today?
Holy crap, what an intro, firstly. That is the kindest intro I've ever heard in my life. Thank you. Hi. So happy to be here to chat with you. I'm so ready. I'm so ready to like deep dive because I can talk for hours about nothing and a brick wall. So I'm ready.
All right. Well, next time, if you need a hype girl for any of your in-person events, sign me up. I'll be there and I'll do your intro.
Okay. You're the best. Done. Absolutely.
Jacob, you have worn so many hats. You've been a creator, you've been an artist, educator, and now a salon owner.
Yes.
But if you had to sum it up and take all of that away, who is Jacob Stella at his core?
Oh crap! Wait, can I swear on this, or do you like cut? Do you cut it out? Okay. Shit. Okay. I always say that I'm a secret introvert living in an extrovert's world.
Oh,
that's how.
What do you mean by that?
So, like, because I'm such a I'm such a homebody. I love my own space. I love my small group of people. But like the life that I have, I guess, like. The life that I live, like, because I'm always out and always like doing things and, you know, running a studio and people around people 24/7, it's like I'm forced into being an extrovert, but I'm actually secretly an introvert at heart. Like I'm like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I've always said that.
So you're in your DMs, you love sending voice notes to people rather than actually attending the event and having to have all those conversations?
Period. Wait, what is it? JOMO, joy of missing out? That's me to a T.
I've never heard of that, but I'm going to definitely use that for next time I don't want to go to a social event for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So let's go back to the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You started creating content on YouTube at just 15 years old.
Yeah.
What actually inspired you to start posting videos at such a young age? Like, were they music videos? Was it parkour? Was it
the parkour? Yeah, absolutely. I was like doing backflips off the walls. No, it was okay. So I was watching a lot. So, all right, the way that it all happened was I was watching, I believe it was Pixie Woo and Beauty Crush, like the two UK YouTubers. And I remember coming across a makeup tutorial for the first time. It was obviously like Michelle Phan, right? And I was like, oh, like, what the hell is she doing? Like eyebrow pencil, like putting like lip light, like what's going on? So anyway, fell down the rabbit hole. And this is when I had just started. Oh no, I wasn't creating content at this point. But that's what kind of inspired me to like be like, oh, this is really interesting. Like, what's this? And then I fell down the rabbit hole. So from there, I was like, okay, well, I was like in year 9 or year 8 or year 9. I was like 14 years old at the time. And I was like, okay, well, I want to start creating like videos because my brother has his own marketing agency. So he's always been in like content creation and that kind of thing. And so I was always like super interested in like what he was doing. So then I was like, okay, well, I want to start creating content. So I started just making random videos, like me and my girlfriends going shopping like just random vlogs, right? Like about nothing. And they would go for like 2 minutes because I didn't know how to film. Like the most random things. I had an iMovie, a phone, and a dream. Like that's literally how I
Ooh.
created. That's how I started, just like filming on my phone. Then the pivot to beauty started pretty much straight after, to be honest. I think I did content like that for maybe like 6 months. I was like, uploading like the once a week on YouTube. And, that's what everyone was saying to do. And so I posted once a week on YouTube for a few months. And then I pivoted into beauty when I came across Beauty Crush, Sammy Maria, and Pixie Woo, like the Real Technique sisters. So that's where it all kind of started. And then I just started creating beauty content. I don't know why. I don't know who was watching. Actually, I remember watching, it was Sammy Maria. She'd made like a MAC foundation guide video. And at that, back in like 2010, MAC was popping off. Like MAC was the brand, right? So I remember being like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, I would love to like own a MAC foundation, whatever. So then I ended up like, fast forward a couple of years, I made my own guide, and that is literally like my most viewed video on YouTube. It has like over 500,000 views. It's wild. So that's kind of how I started creating beauty content. It was kind of off a whim, but I had to be very careful with it because I didn't want to get bullied at school. So I kind of like had it like on the DL at first. And then once things started like kind of getting some traction, people started seeing my videos, I was like,
It was too late.
Too late. Here we go. All right. We're rolling with it. Yeah.
It's really interesting you say that because I know off mic we were talking about how I went to school with Domsky, and
Yes.
he was in, I think, year 11, did this presentation on makeup. He had the whole video. He does special effects. And if you guys haven't seen him before, you have to look him up because
Please, he's amazing.
He was doing the most insane makeup. And everyone laughed at first, but then maybe a year out of high school, he was getting flown by Anastasia Beverly Hills, Mecca, to America.
Yep.
And it was just like, back when you would have started makeup,
yeah,
you only bought from, I guess, corporate brands. Is that what you would call it? And now
100%.
You've got all these influencer-led brands. Personal brands like yourself are the face of these bigger brands, and that's what creates the innovation in the industry.
Yeah. For sure.
Has there been a single moment or person or a piece of content that really made you think like, wow, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
I don't know if there was like a particular person, but I remember so I graduated high school, when I worked for MAC for a few years, and then I was like, this isn't like retail selling lipstick and mascara on a counter. I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. I eventually wanted to become a trainer, but the road to get there in the hierarchy in that company was just like, I was like, yeah, that's like a 10-year plan. And then funnily enough, as soon as I quit, that's when everything turned to shit. So anyway, so I remember I was like keeping tabs on specific YouTubers and like kind of sussing out from when they started to when they could like live off of their channels, if that makes sense. And so I was like, okay, so the average time frame is like a year. If you're posting really regularly, 1 year is all you need, right? So I came home one day from work and I resigned, didn't tell anyone. And I said to my parents, I'm like, so and I'm like 19 at this point. I'm like, I'm going to create content. And they're like, what the fuck?
What does that mean?
You literally, they were like, oh, huh? Like, you can't make, what do you mean? You don't make money off it? Like, they did not get it. And at that point, I really didn't kind of get it either. I just had an idea of where I wanted it to go. So managed to convince them. They were like, all right, fucking do whatever you got to do, And then, that's when I started really digging straight into YouTube, and I was uploading 3 times a week. And then that's when things started kind of growing and that kind of thing. It never made it to like the 1 year of like 3 times a week uploading. And like, I never really made it there, but that's when Instagram started popping off as well. So then it kind of shifted a little bit, and it's a journey. It's been a journey.
Did you feel that there was a lot of pressure from your family? Like you said, you're Italian. Before. Did you find that there was a lot of pressure that you had to go and be a tradie, or you had to go to university to get a degree? Like, did makeup feel like you weren't being supported by your family because they maybe didn't understand it?
Yeah, in a way, definitely. I mean, there wasn't really, my parents were always like, do whatever you want that's going to make you happy. Like I've been very, very lucky. But in saying that, like I remember when I was doing like my year 12, like my VC studies, and I was like, I'm not going to sit my exams because I know that I'm going to do makeup. So like, I'm not going to sit it. And like, my parents were like, what do you mean? Like, you're not finishing school? Like, are you not going to, like, we want you to finish high school. Like, da, da, da. I'm like, no, like I am. I'm just not sitting my exams. Like, so like, there was a bit of like pushback because like just of not understanding how the newer system worked. But there wasn't really much pressure to like, get like a macho, like be a plumber or whatever the fuck, like nothing like that. But yeah, I've been very lucky, very lucky.
Because I've definitely seen the other side of it. I'm Chinese, but I think Chinese and Italian share a lot of similar cultural expectations and the family and everything. And it's like some of these Italians, they have family businesses for like 5 generations. And it's like, you don't get to choose what you want to do. You have to show up and just make it work.
Yeah, exactly.
So when did you start actually going from just YouTube, you're doing makeup on yourself, to then starting to actually take on clients? Like how did that journey evolve?
So when I quit my retail job, I had like a little setup literally in this room actually, like over there. And I had like a desk and I had like one of those like Hollywood like mirrors, and I had like my little kit in like a hairdressing trolley because that's all that like it would fit into. I had nothing. And I was kind of doing clients here and there. But then I soon stopped that and then jumped straight into socials. It wasn't until I hit I was kind of just before we hit COVID. I was like, I think I actually miss I miss my clients. Like, I'm so sick of like working for yourself is great. Working from home is great, but there was no balance. That was my issue. I had no balance at all with it. So I started doing like my brow courses and my lash courses and that kind of thing. And I had just started freelancing, and then we went into lockdown, and I was like, oh shit, all right. So yeah, then after lockdown is when I really hit the ground running. So it was end of 2021 going into 2022. And then I worked from home, worked for myself for a year, and I was done. I was so done with it. And I was like,
why do you say done? Like, tell me why.
like done in a way because I think it was just like the human interaction, the human connection. Like I'm such a people's person at heart. I know as much as I just said I'm an introvert, but I really do thrive about being around people and being in like a really uplifting, like high kind of intensity environment. So being at home, working for yourself, you're not really getting that. Like it's pretty chill. You kind of have clients come in and out. And I was just like, no. I can't do this anymore. I had just got out of a relationship as well. And I'm like, I think it's it's either I move out and then keep my work here, or I move my business out. And that made more sense to me. So I can grow it and expand it into what I wanted it to become. So I lasted a year doing clients from home. And then I was like, I'm going to sign a lease now. Yeah.
Bye money. It was nice seeing you.
All right. RIP to the savings for 2 years. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah.
Hey,
crazy.
quick question. When you were working from home versus like now running a salon, did you notice that there was a big shift in the type of clients that you would bring in?
Ooh.
Because for me, I know from my experience when I was working from home, I attracted a lot more no-shows and people who were just like, oh, well, you're only from home anyways. Yes. And I don't know if that rings true for you too, but I think a lot of people have that home environment and sometimes they don't realize that it can be very frustrating because people don't see you as a professional front. Like you wouldn't. Yeah. Even though you are, I'm not discrediting that to anyone.
Absolutely.
It's definitely interesting.
Absolutely. I think people definitely take you a lot more seriously when you do have a shop front, but it's so like you're running whether I'm running a business from my garage or whether I'm running a business from a shop front, I'm running a business, period. So, and people, they have that like that, I guess, misconception that if you're running a business from home, it's more chill, doesn't really matter so much. You can you're a lot cheaper because you don't have as many overheads, yada yada. But it's like I think, which I think is changing. I think that's changing.
Have you seen my personal development and professional and my upskilling
Right.
bills? Because, yeah, she's not cheap.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, for sure.
So what was the vision behind the fit out and creating a space that felt really true for you? Because obviously you've had your home space, you would have decked it out how you like.
Yep.
What needed to be different in that fit out for you?
Okay, so my brand colors are cream and burgundy, right?
Yep.
That was an absolute accident.
What?
Okay. So in 2020, the start of 2020, just before COVID hit, I had a photo shoot for my lashes, right? Because I was an e-commerce brand to begin with. So I held a photo shoot and I was getting everything ready, had the photographer done, like got all the models in. I had like 20 models that day. It was crazy. And so I was looking up inspo for like, the Pinterest board of like, what the hell do I want this to look like? And I remember seeing this photo of Kim and Kylie against a burgundy backdrop. And I'm like, I want to recreate that. And it was super like glowy and just like gorgeous. And I was like, I want to recreate that. So I bought the burgundy backdrop. And then when I was doing my research and trying to like put together the mood board, that image never existed. So I was like, okay, well, I either dreamt that shit, but here we are. I bought the burgundy backdrop because the photographer didn't want to buy it. So here I am with like a 15-meter like paper roll backdrop that's burgundy, but I'm like, all right, we're going with it. And so after the photo shoot, everything went beautiful. Loved it. My home studio was like very like light grays and white and, a pop of pink on the chair just to make it a bit more inviting and that kind of thing. Because I was already thinking, okay, well, if someone's coming to me, I don't want them to feel intimidated because one, I'm a guy already. So people are going to be a little bit more like, there's already going to be like that little bit more as warm and as friendly as I try to be anyway. I thought, okay, let me try and make it as comfortable as I can. So it was very white, gray, pops of pink, that kind of thing. Then for the studio, I was like, this needs to be the brand, like whatever it is. So I knew that burgundy was going to be in there. But then I was like, how do I, like, what else goes with burgundy? And I was like, cream looks really good. Not much. Yeah, literally not much. It's like white or it's like white, black.
Purple,
but I thought,
maybe? Would purple go with it?
You could.
Not green. Not green. That's
green.
all I know. Not orange.
Not green. But then I was like, cream kind of works really nicely because I wanted a light color and I wanted some contrast. So that's how my color scheme came about. It was a bit of a mess, but like we got there. Then in terms of the actual fit out itself, one of my best friends is a architect and interior designer. So I call him up. I'm like, and he was like, fuck, here we go. Because I'm like, when I want something done, I want it done yesterday. I'm so impatient. And I'm like, Jordan, I have a project for us. And he's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And he goes, okay, what do you want? What are we doing? And I'm like, all right, I found a studio, I found a place. Let's start like drafting some things up. I need 4 treatment rooms. I need 6 makeup stations. I need a point of sale. Like I need this, and that. And we basically just worked on it together. Like I guess I knew what I wanted and he helped me bring it to life, which helped so much. But in saying that, I was definitely on like Photoshop and Canva, like dragging furniture pieces into a backdrop and like trying to, like picture it for myself before he had any of like the finals, just so I got an idea. But that's kind of how we got to where we are. And it's so funny because we like whenever we have new clients come in and complimenting the studio, I'm like, I can't take the credit, sis. Like, I can't take all the credit. I really can't. And like, pretty much.
Your brand is literally like boysenberry ice cream. Like that was all that was sitting in the back of my mind as you're saying that. I was like, I used to love having that when I was a kid. Yeah, it was like the swirl in it.
Yes, it really is. It really is. Yum.
So tell me about the whole fit out. Were there nightmares? Were there unexpected costs? Or was it all smooth sailing? Because I think we've had a couple conversations about fit outs and I've not had smooth sailing experiences. So I'm hoping maybe you did.
So the fit out was... it wasn't bad. I was very lucky. I got my keys December 1st and I was like, I want to be open by February, like
Yeah.
2 months. Now, December, January is the worst time of the year to fucking do anything because everyone is on holidays, right? Dumbest idea I've ever had. So the amount of late fees we had to pay, the amount of rush fees we had to pay to get people in on their holidays and da-da-da-da, that definitely was like, there were a lot of unexpected things that came up with that. I think my budget was originally like... It was like 50 grand, like, because that was all I could no, actually it was maybe like 80 because that's all I could borrow from like my savings and like the bank and whatever. And we ended up like nearly doubling that. So it was, there was a lot of unexpected things, but it's always the things that you don't really think are gonna, like, yes, okay, the flooring is, that's $15,000. Yes, the point of sale table is another $5,000. What I didn't realize was, the security deposit, 3 months of rent. There goes like 20 grand there on its own. A lot of those things I didn't really realize. But what I also didn't realize is that when you're fitting out a commercial space, you need commercial warranties. And so that makes each piece of furniture that you buy a lot more expensive because if anything goes wrong, then you like that company, like it's a whole thing.
What?
So yeah, it was definitely a learning experience. Luckily a lot of my family and family friends are tradies, so they were able to help me out. So yeah, I'm very, very lucky. But December, January, definitely, like, if you're going to sign a lease in December, just wait till February. It'll be so much easier to get tradies out. But yeah.
So what were some of the other expected expenses? Like if there was someone going and doing a fit out, what would you want to tell them? Make sure you know about this or you ask questions.
If you know someone who's in construction, bring them with you because they like pay them and get them to come. Like just honestly do it because they will be looking over all of the things. Like I'm just a makeup artist, right? So I don't know about the fucking square footage of like a circle and like how many square meters is this going to take up and a split system needs to go here. So you need to go through the roof over there. I don't fucking know. Just do it. Like, I don't know. So definitely if you don't know something, pay someone who knows. And this is another thing. Okay, so here in Melbourne, we were in lockdown for COVID for like 2 years. I got my lawyer to put a clause into my contract to say that if Victoria goes into a state of emergency, I don't have to pay rent. Like if my shop is forced to close, I don't have to fork out for rent. So do that. Do that. Especially because of like, we never saw COVID coming. So and there were so many businesses that didn't make it through COVID, which is so horrible. So I was like, I don't want to be one of those statistics. I'm going to like try and do whatever I can to save my ass there. And so, yeah, I would say definitely don't forget to do that.
You'd hope it doesn't happen, but you never know. Like
Exactly.
I never expected to be alive while there's a war going on. It's something that you learn about at high school in like modern history or something. You're like, oh yeah, I learned about the bubonic plague. I learned about, World War I and II.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait, what? There's one happening right now. We've done COVID. Like we just lived through the modern version of those kind of times. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. So you just never know. So yeah, definitely read your contracts and make sure that you're protecting yourself as much as you can. For sure.
Quick question. Like when we did the bowling fit out, everything went to shit. Like we had a 600K budget and it ended up blowing out to 1.7 mil. With the actual costs involved, we ran out of money and we were having to get loans out just to cover the loans. And I think one of the things people don't realize when they go into fit outs is you almost have to start right then and there as soon as you get the money because every month that it's delayed, you're actually having to pay back that money. And if you don't have income coming in, that can be really stressful. So I think if I had any word of advice to someone who's going to go do a fit out, almost expect it's going to take double the amount of time and double the amount of money that you think it will. And then make sure you at least have a cash buffer to be able to cover your rent and live off for an extended period. Because, you can't just get 100 grand from the bank and spend every single dollar out of that 100 because you've already got to pay the loan back. GST, we were just getting paid out GST refunds each quarter, which because we were spending so much, it might have been 16 to 30 grand that we were getting back. So you
Yeah.
can imagine how much you're spending. That was
Wow.
the only way we were surviving through as well. But
Shit.
loans are a hard one, hey?
Yeah, like banks are very quick to fork out money for you, but then they're also so quick to take it. So yeah, I don't know how I would have navigated through that. That's wild.
With your whole fit out, how did you manage the pressure and the decision fatigue? Because I remember you actually spoke about this in a podcast episode I just filmed. I said, I'm about to bring this guest on, and he was telling me about how you were trying to get furniture shipped to your salon instead of just paying the $100. You were like, tell me more about that.
Literally. Okay, so basically one of the things that I guess I've learnt the most is just to like sometimes it's easier to pay for the convenience of having things be shipped to you rather than you having to go and hire a van and then go and pick it up. Because by the time you do that, you've wasted time. Time is like your most valuable asset, and you've just wasted probably the same amount of money, but it could have just been delivered right to your door. So yeah, the decision fatigue definitely was getting to me, because here's the other thing. When you're doing a fit out, everyone expects you to know everything that they know, especially tradies. I don't know if you found the same thing, but like, oh my God. So the plumber would be blaming the electrician would be blaming the chippy. It's like, I don't understand any of this. I'm a makeup artist. Please just give me a break. Like, I play with glitter for a living. Just do it. I don't care how it gets done. I don't care how it gets done. Just do the job. Just do the job. I don't know. Do you want to go 400 up from like from the floor? Or do you want to go 650? And I'm like, bro, I don't know.
And then it's like you choose it, but then the council have a different set of regulations. We had one step that was like like it was like 1.6 centimeters, 16 mil, too tall, and it was the top step. So we had to pull off 20 wooden planks and then shave it down and then put them back on just to pass inspection. Like the amount of stuff is just stupid.
It's ridiculous. And especially because everything needs to be up to a certain code, which you hope that your builders and like whoever you're working with would know. But yeah.
And then also if you're giving them, I guess, deadlines and putting the pressure on, sometimes when people are rushing things, they get missed, and then it ends up taking more time and money long term.
Yeah. And then it ends up costing you an extra $20,000 because you have to get the flooring guys to come back in, rip it up, get the concreter to sand it down, and then lay everything back. Cool, thanks. Just because of one little, yeah.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Looking back now, like, is there anything you would have done differently, or anything that you're especially proud of that actually turned out to be better than expected, other than the boysenberry branding colours?
Do you mean for the fit out? Is this like for the fit out?
Yeah, for the fit out.
Would I do anything different? I don't think so. Because I really think that everything, like I said, I got pretty lucky. Like I wanted to be in at the start of February, the second week of February we were in and operating. So we got everything done when I wanted to get everything done. That's partially because I'm an absolute pain in the ass. And like I said, I want everything done yesterday. But also because I'm extremely organized, and I think you need to be as well. If I had the plumber coming in to do the plumbing, like on a Monday, that same day, or on the Tuesday, the electrician was coming in to rough in. Then I would have the flooring guy come in to like suss out what was going on. So that way, once everything was done, flooring guy could come in, furniture could go in, everything just kind of worked in a timeline. But things obviously pop up. Okay, all of a sudden I need a plasterer. I need someone else who can do X, Y, and Z. So yeah, there are definitely things that pop up last minute, but I wouldn't change any of it. Everything worked out, thank God.
I love that.
Yeah.
The second part of that question, in case you missed it.
Yes, I probably did.
Was like, is there anything you're especially proud of that actually turned out to be better than expected?
Oh, the curved wall.
Is that another accident?
No. So I wanted like this, Kenji, okay, my dog's just going to be chilling here. So I have this curved wall that basically like leads you into like the hallway where all the treatment room doors are. And it was so I remember saying I want a curved wall, and literally my uncle, who's a chippy, was like, how the
Do we have
fuck?
to?
Like, yeah, do we have to? And why? He's like, why do you want a curved wall? So anyway, he built out the framework for it. We were like, let's do it and hope for the fucking best. And it ended up like flawless, like absolutely flawless. You cannot tell anything. It like everything, it curves beautifully. Like, yeah, that's one of the things for the fit out that I'm like, that was a slay. And it's so simple. It's a curved wall. Like, wow, it's some bent plaster, but like, it's one of these things that you just don't know how it's going to turn out until you try it. So, yeah.
Just fingers crossed, and you're like, please be good, please be good.
Yeah, because if it wasn't, I would have had to stick with it. But yeah,
you would have had to fire someone. No, I'm kidding.
100%. Actually, even like when we were doing when we were painting, the painter or. No, actually, no, because we bought all of the paint. We didn't realize that the color swatch card was actually the wrong in comparison to what the actual paint color was. So he finished the entire room, and I looked at it. I'm like, why are the walls gray? I'm like, no. I'm like, nah. So we had to go and return like, I don't know, like 35 liters of paint.
Did you repaint it or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Repainted it. Yeah. And everything was fine after that. But yeah. Fit out's fun but stressful.
Oh, 100%. There's that saying that it's like everyone wants the outcome, but no one wants the journey of how you got there.
Yep. Yeah. But it looks but it looks good on Instagram when everyone else is like, you know, like got their videos and they see it all come together. Oh my God, that looks so nice. But like the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it, girl.
You know what's really interesting is you said you started with vlogging and you were just like showing your day and your life, and now it's like full circle moment. That's the content you're doing once again.
Yeah, exactly. The apple does not fall far.
Legit, like 13 years of content creating, and who knew that you had it sorted back then? Like what was going to become the biggest thing? You were ahead of the game.
I had no idea, but you know what? It's actually funny because I have those moments quite often where I'm like, that worked out. Like me flicking through Photoshop, you know, when I was 15, 16 years old, editing out my acne, like ended up being like one of my superpowers, like for this whole like industry, like editing photos and making like my own e-com photos from a selfie that I took for my product. Like it all kind of has like worked in tandem. Like it just, I don't know. It's crazy how things work like that.
Well, you've got all these skills. Like I know you've invested heavily in your own growth and education, which I think is super important. What kind of work have you done on yourself that's had the biggest ripple effect in your business?
Ooh, I think it's honestly just educating myself more on how people work. So I watch a lot of like content creators on YouTube. Like I'm still a long form girly. Like I love TikTok and like reels, but for myself, I find long form is still where I get the most out of like the most information. So whether it's a podcast, whether it's a YouTube video, it could be anything. So throughout COVID and I guess like the beginning of my journey, I was listening to a lot of like beauty business podcasts or just business podcasts in general, or like audio books, and also a lot of psychology like books and podcasts, just learning about how people work. And I think learning about this is like kind of going a little bit off topic, but learning about how people operate like for specific personality types, I think that settled a lot of my own anxiety, which then allowed me to, instead of like feel like I'm the victim in certain situations, like why are they doing this to me? Why they left me out? Why like blah, 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 blah. It's more like, oh, it's all good. Like I think it's like, I don't know, it really changed like the way that I thought about certain situations and certain people. And I think that made the biggest difference, because then that allowed me to then focus on my business, which was the real thing that I needed to worry about, not the small little things and sweating the small stuff. Does that make sense? Or have I just gone on a tangent about nothing?
I definitely can see where you're coming from. I was just thinking about how like especially when you're caught up in that world of like influencers and stuff, there's
Yeah.
always this need to be at all the events or be seen in a certain way. And that can
Yep.
become really emotionally, mentally and physically draining, just constantly
Yep.
putting yourself out there. And sometimes it starts off by being authentic, but then what gets the views and the reach might necessarily not resonate with your values. And then after a while, you're like, why am I even doing this?
I had that exact moment last year at an event where I hadn't been to an event in like 2.5 years, right? And I went to this event and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Because it's so...
what was it, JOMO? No,
JOMO, yeah. JOMO. I was like, fuck, what am I doing here? Like, this is so, like, because it was all, like, I only knew like 1 or 2 people there when I went from knowing everyone, right? And it was a whole new PR team, all new influencers, all the TikTok girlies were there and everything like that. And I was like, this is cool, but like, it's not in me anymore to kiss a brand's ass and go and take photos at a fucking photo booth. Like, I don't know. And it's not because I think that I'm above it. I don't think that at all. It's just that
it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. It's work. And it's also like, that was like my past life. And so going back to it, it was so weird. It was so weird. But I was just like, what the hell am I actually doing here? Like, this is just odd.
Hey, here's a question for you. I did a lot of mindset work on myself the last few years, obviously in business, and I found that like there's a direct correlation between if I work through this block, I unlock the next level. And for me, in that whole like influencer life and public figure, I think there was a part of me that just felt like I needed to be validated. I needed to be in the spotlight and I had to have all that attention to be worthy. And I think as you start to work on yourself and you heal those parts, suddenly it doesn't have the same impact. Is that what you found?
100%. 1,000%. I heard this quote and it sticks. I literally say it all the time. It stuck with me. Confidence is quiet.
It's like wealth whispers.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So yeah, confidence is quiet. I felt like I needed to be in every single room, at every single event, every single opening. I would have gone to the opening of an envelope. Like, I would have gone to anything. And that's because I think that came from a place of insecurity, right? Of like, oh no, like if I don't go, then I'm not, like, there goes that brand connection or there goes that brand deal. Like, I won't be able to network with this person or that person or whatever. And as you do the work on yourself and you unpack it and you journal, I journal a lot. And that's really helped me as well. It's like one of the biggest tools that's helped me. When you figure that out and you're like, I'm actually good. Like, I'm actually fine. Like, when you start to heal through some of that stuff, you realize that you don't need to be in all of those places. Like, it's a really joy of missing out. That's where it comes from.
Well, you don't need an award to tell you that you're good at what you do. You don't need to go viral to feel like the work you did was worthy of being seen by people, 100%. Right?
Yeah. And I used to put, especially in the earlier days, like when I was first blowing up on YouTube and Instagram, I put so much pressure on myself. Like, I was like, if like I remember putting up like a reel or like a video, a photo, and I was like, if it doesn't get 1,000 likes in the first 10 minutes, it's a flop. I'm deleting it. Deleting it.
Oh my gosh.
Did you do the same?
Yeah, I was the same. I remember when Reels first came out. This is on my personal account. And I was working for a bridal company and we were doing all these funny like skits and stuff. And one day they just started taking off like 300,000 views, 50,000 views. And if you had one that maybe got 3,000, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. Like, boom,
right?
But what I didn't realize is if you left them there, about 3 to 4 weeks later, that's when they were going viral. And so I had this whole mindset that like, oh my gosh, if it doesn't do well in the first like day or week, it has to go. But it was actually that 3 to 4 week mark that they started going viral.
They recircle. Yeah, it circles back around. It's so, unreal.
When did you start going viral? Like, what type of content were you creating that really got the views happening for you?
Clickbait.
I find that a lot. Like, it's just like those videos where they're hitting the baseball and the ball looks like it's going to go in their face, or it's some drama. And that's what I don't like about some people doing
Yeah.
clickbait is like the bullying, just tearing another person down. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Be funny.
100%, 100%. Like if I scroll all the way down, it was videos where like I'm like cutting off like I look like I'm cutting off a mascara wand, or like there was this one video. It's so stupid. Hold on, I need to show you. It was me with like a Jeffree Star Cosmetics, like before he got cancelled for the 15th time. It was like one of his highlighters. It was one of his highlighters, and I have like a knife to it as if I'm like cutting into it. That got like 900,000 views. And I was like, and that's how I figured it out. Me and my girlfriends, like, who I was friends with at the time, we were like, okay, yeah, like the covers were wild. I don't know. Can you see that? Me like cutting a liquid lipstick tube off? Like,
you would be like, what are you doing?
Exactly. And then, you do that and you combine it with, okay, you need to comment back with like to your commenters with like 4 words or more. You need to put like every single hashtag you can. You need to tag all the beauty brands, tag the repost like pages. Doing all of that just made you explode. And then that's how we got ourselves onto the explore page. And then that's how our videos were going viral. And then Instagram changed the algorithm and everything went down from there.
Doesn't work anymore. Hashtags aren't relevant. You've got to do this, do that. It was like, okay, post 10 stories a day. Now it's like only post 2 stories for 2 days, and then let it expire. And then it's just like you just get used to one and then they change it and you just go, why do I feel like I'm never getting ahead? Like, do you know what's so funny? Do you know Cardia Milan? Do you know Cardia Milan? Okay, so she was like a female influencer back before everyone was an influencer, I would say, and the algorithm was going viral and stuff. So she was like a Tammy Hembrow kind of one of those OGs with Shani. I've forgotten her name, but anyways,
Shani Grimond.
Shani Grimond, Michael Finch, like all of that, the OG influencers, I would say.
Yeah.
And I remember she was in the news maybe like 6 months ago, and she's like, it's really hard for influencers to make a living today because everyone's going viral on TikTok. There's a lot of UGC content creation and like the whole market has shifted so much because you would have been through the whole thing from start because there wasn't really influencers. The whole market has changed so much because it used to be brands, as in business brands, companies. Then it became the whole influencer marketing side. Then we shifted away from that to more UGC because it's everyday people that the everyday person can relate to. But then everyone found out, these UGC content creators, they're getting paid. So then it became employee-generated content. What do you think the next thing is going to be?
Oh, my God. Employee-generated content is huge right now. I see so many salons and like other studios, especially hair salons. They like, and some of these other like, but actually no, there's hair salons, but like in the States, absolutely killing it. But that's the thing as well. I think there are so many business owners who don't want to show up on social media and like put their face out on social media. And I think that's a blessing and a curse. I don't know if we're going to go back into that area per se, but I don't know what the next thing's going to be because it's changed so drastically over the last like 10 years that it really could go any which way. Yeah.
I think it's going to be personal brands because it honestly throughout all of this stuff, like celebrities, for example, Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian, like they are a personal brand. No matter what happens, they are always leveraging their personal brand to build companies.
Yeah, it's
true. And if you look at Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. You look at X, you're thinking Elon Musk. It's just like you're really following the personal brand, not so much the business brand.
Yeah.
And if you actually look at, for example, followers as a metric to see what works better, so many more people will follow a personal brand because they have that human connection. They get to see your hobbies, they get to see your beliefs, your thoughts, how you show up, and that they can connect to. But if they've always got pretty polished content, nice graphics and stuff, it's not like I'm connecting to a person. It's just like, that looks nice, that's cool, I like
pretty.
that.
Yeah, exactly. People buy from people, not from businesses. And I feel like that's ringing more true as each day goes on.
Have you seen Mercedes Benz? They do really funny employee generated content. There's this one guy, I'll send you the video after this episode, but basically for anyone listening, there's this one guy that will sell like Mercs to these women, and he'll be like, you can go for your hot girl walk, pull up in this. And then he just says all these really funny things. I'm absolutely butchering it, but I'm going to share it to my stories or link it in the show notes so you can see. But their content has just blown up and it's just an absolute piss take, but it's so engaging. And as a result, you're getting more shares, you're getting more saves, you're getting more comments. The algorithm's going, wow, this is a fun place to be. I want to be sold to by these people because I don't even feel like they're selling to me. Yeah. And I think that's also another thing when you look at, so I've got a client at the moment, she is opening up a tanning salon in America and she works in corporate currently. You should see the ads that these guys made for her. They are so corporatized. I'm not joking. It's just like, it didn't even explain what she does. It says just join the wait list and coming soon, tans, and then like a little book to book now to a landing page. And I just sat there and I went, you need to explain who you are. Like, what makes you different? Why do you exist? Because you can't sell to people who don't even know you exist yet. And like that whole journey of, hey, I have no idea who you are, to I'm going to be a loyal follower doesn't happen with buy now, buy now, buy now in your face.
No, you can't just have call to actions. Like people need to establish that that parasocial relationship with you to an extent so that way they feel like they can trust you. Otherwise, conversions aren't really going to, because everyone's over the fake shit now, right? Like, so people are gravitating more towards the UGC creators and the honest like influencers and
the
that
honest
kind of
and honest.
The honest and honest, yeah. So it's interesting. It's very interesting seeing it change so much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I was chatting with a salon owner the other day who said, Sammy, I feel like I'm constantly working, but nothing's actually working. She was posting daily, reels, stories, replying to DMs between clients. Her team looked to her for everything, and she still lay in bed at night wondering if next week's bookings would cover the bills. Sound familiar? That's exactly why I created Booked, Banked and In Demand. It's the system I wish I had when I was burnt out, overwhelmed, and wondering if all this effort was ever going to pay off. And it's now helped over 300 beauty business owners get off the income roller coaster and actually grow, filling their books, boosting their income, and finally building a business that gives back instead of draining them. Inside, I'll show you how to attract clients with content that actually converts, use AI and done-for-you scripts to save 20 plus hours a week, hire your first VA and delegate the entire back end of your business, and build a system that keeps your business booked without burning you out. So if you've been craving clarity, clients, cash flow, and calm, this is your shortcut. Click the link in the show notes and join Booked, Banked and In Demand now. Let's build a beauty business that doesn't run you into the ground. So let's talk about you taking on a team now. I know you have 2 incredible employees, and one of the things you pride yourself in is how much you invest into them. You don't let them work with clients for, is it 6 months?
6 months,
which is such a high standard. What inspired that level of I've seen their work. I wouldn't even be going in charging beginner prices by the time that they're ready to hit the market because they're at your level. What inspired that level of care, and what does your training process look like?
Okay, so at the start of this year, I actually built out an entire training platform for my employees because I was like, if I'm starting to scale now, I need somewhere where they can go, they can log on to, where they can see each individual service, have an entire workbook dedicated to it, and like video demonstrations of everything like actually in practice. So I built that out at the start of the year, and I think that level of care just comes from wanting to not just be the best, but be my best as well. Like if a client is coming into the studio, I want them to know that no matter who they're with, they're going to be taken care of, right?
Yeah.
And that and we have so many other systems and like processes in place now, client notes and before and after photos that we upload on every single file. Like that way if someone comes in and they saw me last time, but they're seeing my assistant next time, my assistant's like, yep, I already know what Jacob did. And I can see exactly like what your result was. If you're happy with that, I know exactly what to do. So I think, and yeah, I don't know, that the level of care, I have hella OCD, like everything needs to be like to perfection. And I think that just comes with being a makeup artist, to be honest, because everything needs to be symmetrical and perfect and even. So there's just been like drummed into me. But yeah, so I don't really know where I think, so I think that's where that level of care comes from. But the 6-month thing, it was just kind of like that's just on average how long it's taken. Like my first employee, I trained up for about a year, I think, and then she was taking on clients. And then my most recent employee that I hired, yeah, she was training for 6 months, and then now she started to take on clients.
How does that work? Because obviously they're coming in. Are they doing it paid? Are they doing it for free? Is it like an internship with you? Like, are you getting them to watch that whole training at home and then coming in and doing models, or are you getting them to do it all on the spot with you? Like, tell me more.
Okay. So it's a little bit of everything. They definitely go like at home, they get access to like the online platform. They go and like check things out and read through everything, watch the videos. Then when they come in, that's when we start booking them with models, or I might do like an introductory price offer for like that person just to get some people in. And then, it's mainly just practicing on models, family, friends, whoever we can get in for that few months. And a lot of me with them, overseeing them complete each step of like of a treatment and being like, okay, that was amazing. Let's change this up. I think you could work on this a little bit more. And it's just it's just feedback. So it's a little bit of everything, but I like to be as involved as possible because at the end of the day, I still feel like it's my name on the line, if that makes sense, which is really scary. And like when you're employing people, you don't really know who you're employing. Unless you're employing a friend or someone you've worked with before, you don't really know who, or you're working with family like yourself, right? Like you don't really know who is helping you run your business. So
not until 6 months in and you're like, oh, what have we done here? Or wow, you're so much better than I was expecting. It's just like it can go one or two ways, can't it?
Absolutely.
Hiring is like dating. You get to see the best of someone in that interview if they don't crack under the pressure and they're like, because some people don't do well in interviews. But like you're seeing the great side of them. And then I think I've seen both. I've seen someone who really progresses and they just keep getting better and better. And then there's the other one where it's like full-blown narcissists. They're like putting on this big act and then they can't keep it up anymore and it just all starts to crumble down and you're just like,
It's really tricky. It's really tricky. Yeah.
What are you looking for in your employees? Because you invest so much into them. And I know I've had conversations probably with people who aren't great leaders, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
I know this might like ruffle some feathers, but when I speak to people, they say it's really hard to hire in the industry and like, there's always a constant employee turnover and people go out and start their own businesses. And I'm like, if you listen to any of the guests that I've interviewed on this podcast, the reason why people start their own businesses is because they're treated like crap or they have this ego kind of thing where the business owner, especially in personal brands, they are the pinnacle of everything. So you can never charge as much as they are. They are the most expensive. They are the best. And then it's like, I don't want to train up my employees to be at my level because then they could take my skills and start their own business. And I know with you don't have that mindset. Like run me through. What are you thinking when you go through this process?
So I like to hire people who are highly motivated people in general, right? But I also like to hire people who are already in the industry. That helps, but especially makeup artists, because I always find it's easier to train someone who's already a makeup artist in brows, lashes, that kind of thing, than it is to have a brow tech or a lash tech try to learn makeup. Makeup is like very, very, there's so many different aspects to it. Face shape, skin types, knowing what works, what doesn't, that kind of thing. So that's just what I look for when I'm like just as like on like a surface level, right? When I'm hiring. And actually, so one of my mentors is Brianna May. Do you know Brianna?
Oh my gosh, I love her. She's an Albany girl as well, funnily enough.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with her. She's like a spirit. She's like my spirit animal. So I did her like level up course like years and years ago. This is so off topic, but we connected so well. Like she just knows me through and through. So anytime that I'm having an issue, I'm like, Brie, I don't know what to do. Like, and she's just got my back. I love her so much. But I know that I'm replaceable. I know that I am not the be all end all in the makeup game or in the brow tech game. Like I am not Makeup by Mario. And I know that like, yes, I guess I am I have a personal brand. So I'm the face of my personal brand. And I'm also, I guess, the face of my beauty brand. But Brianna was saying to me that your next hire should always be your best hire. And not having like, you've really got to drop the ego if you want your brand to succeed. Because I am totally fine with being like for example, the fit out. I'm a makeup artist. I'm not a fucking plumber. I don't know how that works, but you do. So let me hire you so you can get the work done. You know what I mean? And I think it's the same thing with employees and treatments. It's like you may know more than I do about brow lamination. Yes, I guess I know the most out of everyone in my team because I have trained them. But yeah, I don't know. I think if you have that mentality that you are like you want people to do well but not better than you, that can't like you can't have that. Toxic as fuck. 100%. Yeah, for sure. And so yeah, I mean, you know, like one of my employees, like we always chat about like her business dreams and her business goals. And I've never once gatekeeped anything because that's just not the kind of person that I am. And I obviously want people to follow their dreams and be happy. But it's also like there's room for everyone. You know, there's room for everyone. Like you don't need to be the only one that's killing it. Like what? I don't know. And I think that might also just go back to me being in the influencer scene for so many years where, you know, everyone, it's like a dog eat dog world and everyone's, you know, out to try and just social climb as much as they can. And it's just not in my DNA. I don't know.
It's so interesting.
I'm not competitive.
Yeah, there's a lot of comparison in that influencer world of like, what car do you drive? What handbag do you have? What event are you going to? What dress are they wearing? How much is it worth? Yeah. And then you kind of come back to running a business and it's like, if you want your business to do well, you need to invest in the team.
Yeah,
if you
100%.
want to do well, then, you know, you're probably not going to work well in a team because you're letting your ego fuel everything you do. Yeah.
Yeah. And
when you come from that place of, like I just wish more people, especially in our industry, they went and took the steps to do work on themselves like you've done.
Therapy?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, like therapy or a mindset coach, because it's like dating, right? When you have certain people in your life, they're going to bring up every part of you. It's going to be a mirror and it's either going to be things you really like or things you don't like. And if you don't heal or you don't do that work, you're just going to project shit out onto everyone and it's 100%. Not a pleasant experience.
No, and that's why so many people quit their jobs to start their own business because they have been on the other side of that from a manager that they hated or a boss that they hated who treated them like shit because that boss hadn't done any work to like figure out their own shit. So everything was just projected onto them. And then it's just a catch-22. It keeps on happening and happening and happening.
Yeah. And like it all starts with you taking the responsibility, you being the difference. I think one thing that always rings true for me is just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do.
Period.
Like if you're seeing people bullying online just because all these other people are jumping in on the comment section and like what, that's not a good thing to be doing. Or for example, I was talking about the pricing, you know, what's the ripple effect of copying someone else's prices and then undercharging? Then someone else opens up a business, copies your prices and undercharges. What happens? The whole value of the industry starts to erode because we're just going off this dog eat dog copycat kind of mentality when it's like you need to rise above you don't have to be better than everyone else, but you need to be the best version of you.
Yes, 100%, 100%. And I think that also comes with just being like, I think in the beauty industry, I think you really do need to be a people's person. You don't have to love every single person that exists, but
you can't hate them.
But you can't hate them. And I think there's an element of curiosity that you need to have when it comes to people, rather like, you know how they say get curious, not furious? Like it's very that. You need to kind of,
seek to understand, not criticize.
Exactly. Thank you. Took the words out of my mouth. Yeah. Literally, I need a coffee.
Legit.
Yeah, it's time.
Have you ever felt resistance to letting go and leading a team? Like, how do you navigate those moments?
Oh my God, yes. I remember when I first opened, it was so bad. When I first opened the studio, it was me and my second in charge, Denisha. And she was like, so do you have any policies? And I'm like, nah. She's like, we should make some. And I'm like, yeah, we should. But the thing is, so she was like throwing all these ideas at me, like, okay, Jacob, like, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Because she's thinking from like she came from like the retail world, right? So she was like, and she worked at like a retail makeup store. So she's like, if this is another retail makeup store, you need to make sure you have like this in place, this in place, this in place. And at first I was like already overwhelmed with just, oh my God, we're open, right? Like the work is done, we're open. Holy shit, what now? Then I had to manage her and also like figure out like how I'm going to support her so she can support her family. But also like, it was that transition period was probably like 2 to 3 months of it was tricky for me because I was like now having to step from being my own boss to being someone else's boss. And that threw me for a spin. Definitely a lot more easier said than done.
It's such an identity shift, isn't it? It's like you have to, I guess when you're working for yourself, sometimes you get a lot more freedom because you maybe don't have those levels of systems, or like you don't have to have all this accountability to other people. And now it's like I have to organize my week so I can organize their weeks. Like you can't just rock up to work and be like, oh, can you come in today? Like you have to start future thinking. And I found for me, I used to always, when I was just working by myself and maybe like one team member, you could kind of get away with, we'll just play it by ear for maybe the day or the week. But now it's like, no, we're planning out like 6 to 12 months in advance. Because if you know you want to make this much money or profit, then it goes, well, how many team members do I need and how much can they add? If I want to work this many hours, how do I wean off here and focus on growing another project? Then you got to go, okay, what's the hiring process and when am I adding these people in, training them up so they're at the level? So Christmas time, we're all fully booked and we're hitting those KPIs. Like you can't just go, oh my gosh, we're burnt out, we're fully booked, we need to hire someone, because you're not going to invest the time or energy into training them up. It'll be a shit show for them onboarding, and those are usually the employees that don't stay on long term because they aren't supported, they aren't valued.
And you make the wrong decisions as well because you're just desperate to just get someone in to help, but it's like it doesn't mean it's the right person either.
Once again with dating, I have this friend, she turned 28 and I don't know what came over her. She just like, it's like she turned 28 and there's like, I have to get married. I have to have a baby soon. And I'm like, that's so stressful. Like just chill. And then the type of guys that she was constantly attracting into her life were just losers. And I was like, man, I'm not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. But I was like, you're not making, I guess, the best choices here because you're desperate. And so you're scraping from the bottom of the barrel. But like when you're working on yourself or you're planning, and also this is another thing, I'm sure you've heard this before, like if you want to attract a person in your life that's at a standard, has the same values, shows up a certain way, you can't just expect that. You have to actually become the type of person that would attract that. And that's where I see this big incongruency. It's like, I want someone who's organized. I want someone who can do my systems and processes. I want someone who's a perfect beauty therapist or skin therapist or makeup artist. And then it's like, you don't look at your numbers. You don't do any consistent marketing. Like what type of organized person who is that level going to come in and go, wow, this is a great place to work for? They're going to go, ooh, this is a bit of a red flag for me.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more.
So let's move away from the whole employee and leadership side. I want to know about your brand and marketing strategy. Like, obviously, people love seeing final results. And I don't know about you, but my Instagram is just flooded with before and afters, and I find it really boring. So I actually don't really scroll it that much.
Yeah.
What's your approach to storytelling and taking people behind the scenes like you did in those early vlogs? Like, how is that adding value to your brand versus just putting up before and afters all the time?
I think it's an element of social proof and people see, because like people love seeing like the before and after, especially the after, but people like the result. People also want to see how you got there though, more now than ever. So, creating vlogs where I'm, getting ready for the day and like taking like a 24 hours, spend 24 hours with me, come to work with me vlog, whatever it might be. Those kinds of videos seem quite silly and like lighthearted and like kind of pointless. But what it does is it like for the consumer who may be on the verge of booking that appointment, it might just be that last thing that they need to be like, I actually really trust this person. Like this person seems really genuine. Like, and it's not that you need to like also put on like this genuine act to just be yourself. Like just be, and it's so freaking, like that's what everyone says, but it's really true. Like you just need to try. And when you're first starting, especially if like you're not super confident in front of the camera, you really need to ignore that there's a camera even there. Just speak into the abyss and like just hope that someone gets it. And then when it comes to actually putting that content together, that's when I find that I get those best little tidbits of information, or that's what really makes the video. It's those moments where I'm not even thinking about who's watching and if they're judging me and if I look like an idiot, if I'm talking right, or if I'm stuttering, or if, you know what I mean? So that's when I find that that's where my best content comes from. That also comes with being on social media and creating content for the last 14 years. Like that also helps too.
Another question I have is really about how you've managed to build your personal brand alongside your business brand. And obviously the personal brand has been a longer journey.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's actually almost doing the opposite? Like they've lived behind their business brand their whole life and they're scared to go out and start a personal brand. Like, how do they get started? What should they be thinking about?
Ooh, an introductory video would be amazing. Like, I think to just take it step by step. I don't think you need to go out and start doing fucking TikTok dances and I don't think you need to be doing any of that just yet. I don't think you need to be doing that period. No, I don't think you need to be doing any of that period, because I'm not that bitch. You will not see me doing a Charlie XCX Apple dance. I'm not doing any of that. Like, it's not happening, right? But I think creating content that's still centered around your business, but that you can show your face on. And like, so with our social media, we have like our content pillars, right? Educate, entertain, before and afters, and what's the fourth one?
Promotion?
Yeah, like a call to action. Yeah, kind of like more of a CTA. So when we're creating content, we're always in the back of our head thinking, okay, are we educating? Are we just entertaining people? Are we trying to show off like, okay, this was my client's brows before, we got her to here, and like the story time. And I think those kinds of videos are really great to start with because they're very easy to film. It's just you talking to a camera. There's not a lot that needs to really be happening. I don't really know if that answers your question though. I guess like, what would I say to someone who's wanting to start a personal brand?
Yeah.
I think like if you look at people like Brittany Saunders, who owns Fate, or if you look at Raquel Boris, who is Elijah, like their personal brands have, like Brittany leveraged off of her personal brand to start her business Fate. Raquel, I'm pretty sure, started Who is Elijah
simultaneously.
I think so, right? Yeah. I feel like I knew Who is Elijah before I knew her anyway. So I think, having a look at the kind of content that they create, or scrolling all the way down, scroll down in their profiles, see what kind of stuff they were putting out at first, because I'm sure it wasn't as like, effortless as like now than it was back then. I think like, you'd be able to see where they kind of started from. And sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel, just copy the fucking wheel. You know what I mean? Like it's already worked for them. So just kind of take it into your own, and it's taking it into your own and making your own from it. I don't know if that really answers your question, but
I think personal brands are such, not like a trend, but like what would you call it? Like a key. I think personal brands are a key part of a business's success today, especially founder-led brands. Like you want to understand the motives behind the brand. Like, why do they exist? What purpose do they serve? What makes them different? Like, we like to buy from brands that we align with. And I think you've seen a lot more of this now, especially with changes like sustainability, or it might be changes around holistic health and wellness. We've seen a lot of different types of brands emerging because we've got personal brands who have these core beliefs and values that are being communicated in how they show up in their everyday life. And maybe now that I'm saying this out loud, brands can say this is what we live by, but personal brands can show how I am congruent to this, how I live by it. How I show it in my everyday life. And I guess when I think about personal brands, the reason why I would buy from a personal brand in a business is because they're showing me their strategy, their way of thinking. They're giving me that next level, which creates more credibility and trust. I really struggle. This is my worst thing about being a business coach and consultant, is when I want to reach out to someone and I scroll, I go on their website, not one photo of them, don't know what their name is, and I've got to default to this, hey, lovely or beautiful, and it's just not me. Like, I love using someone's name, and I'm like, if this is how I'm feeling and I'm actively searching, like imagine how the person who wants to buy from you, sitting there for an hour or 2 hours or investing $3,000 to $5,000 for a training, how are they going to feel? It's like a faceless account, right? Exactly. And I personally do not trust faceless accounts. It's just, I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who I'm connecting to. Like, I want to know, are we going to get along? Like, do you like the same things as me? Is this going to be an awkward 2 hours me laying here, or is it going to be amazing? Like,
yeah. And I think that that goes back to people buy from people, not from brands.
100%.
Yeah.
Jacob, you've had this incredible journey, but with every high, there are always hidden lows. Have you ever had a moment where you asked yourself, is this even worth it? Or is this every week? I'm just kidding.
Girl, 2:00 p.m. every Tuesday. No, I'm kidding. Definitely. There are times where I'm like, whether I was doing influencer work and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Or like now where I'm like, oh my God, this is a lot. Like, is it even worth it? Is this really what I want to be doing? But the thing is, it's always chased up with that absolutely. Like, there's no doubt that this is exactly what I'm meant to be doing, because the amount of fulfillment that I feel when so like you said, you build up all these skills, like when you're a kid, when you're a teenager, when you're in uni, whatever. And then being able to run your own business where you can actually put all of those skills into play, it's that for me is the most satisfying thing ever. Like I said, like going, just from playing around on Photoshop when I was 12 years old to now doing all of my own website work and digital marketing, like that satisfaction for me just makes everything an automatic yes. And then I think, what would I be doing if I wasn't doing this? Where would I be if I wasn't doing this? I would be a plumber. Yes. Literally.
Well, at least your job won't be getting taken by AI if you're a plumber. Not for a while.
Period. Literally, I know. But yeah, so then I think like, what would I be doing if I wasn't doing this? And it's like, well, I can't imagine myself doing anything else, honestly. So
I love that. I was going to ask you, in those darker seasons, what helps you keep going? But you literally have answered it. It's just like, what else would I be doing? This is where I get to put all those skills into play. And even though it's hard, there's still a level of this that brings that fulfillment into your life.
100%. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you need to have a cry. right? You put on a depressing ass playlist, right? I've got one saved in my phone on purpose, right? For when
Is
I'm
it
just
called The
feeling.
Breakdown?
It's called like Cry Me a River or something.
Oh.
Right? It's like, and it's like, sometimes you need to just kind of let it out, whether it's a cry, whether it's a journal, whether it's going to the gym. Like there are so many things that we can do to help us self-soothe. Self-soothe? Is that the right word?
It's me thinking about people who self-destruct and they're going out clubbing and they're drinking. It's like, maybe that's not the way to heal.
Hey, and you know what? And it could be as simple as catching up with a girlfriend for a glass of wine, right? Sometimes that release and like talking about something different, or just having the conversation not be about your work and like what you're doing and what's happening in here, takes you out of that, and then it's almost like a reset button, right? And so don't get me wrong. Sometimes there is a cry that happens, and then you pull your shit together, and then you're like, all right, what's next?
So if someone is in that place, let's say they need to have the cry, or they're at the point where they're like, is this even worth it? Like, what am I all doing this for?
Yeah.
Questioning everything, feeling stuck, doubting themselves. What would you want to say to them right now?
Okay. So if it's based off of comparison, right? Like, why am I not here? Like, I should be over there. Like, because I always say to myself, I'm like, Jacob, why couldn't have you just picked a fucking 9 to 5 and been happy with that? You know what I mean? Like that would have been so much easier. But the easier option doesn't mean it's the right option for you, right? And like, so yeah, it kind of depends. What would I say to that person?
You're stuck, you're doubting yourself. You're at that point where you're just like, what the hell is this even for? For?
I love a roadmap. I will get a whiteboard. I've got a big ass whiteboard literally sitting over there, and I will just write pros and cons, bring it back down to basics. And literally, like, it sounds stupid, but this is why journaling has helped me so much, because it forces me to be like cognitive about what I'm writing on that piece of paper. That's why I like to write. I don't like to like put it in my notes app or whatever. Sometimes I do if I'm like I'm traveling or whatever, but most of the time I have like a journal with me or like here at home. So I will, and so when you're writing things down, you're actually seeing your thoughts be written on paper, and then you end up catching yourself 99% of the time, and you're like, is that even a problem? Is that like, am I really that stressed over the light bulb blowing out today at work? Or am I like, you know what I mean? And then you can kind of deep dive a little bit more and break it down. And then by the end of it, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, that's sorted. So, and then you kind of just forget about it and move on. So yeah, bring it back to basics. Write a pros and cons. If you're not sure if what you're doing is right for you, write a pros and cons. And if there's more cons than pros, then the writing's on the wall. The answer's right in front of you. But I think you also need to remind yourself why you started in the first place. Because sometimes when you're in that weird middle point, which I feel like I've just gotten out of, the weird middle point of like it's Groundhog Day. It's you're like working 80 hours a week, or however many hours you're doing, but you're working a shit ton. You're so overworked. You're burnt out. Sometimes when you're in that, it's hard to see out of that. But it's just trusting the process, I think.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
You know what I was also thinking as you were saying all of this? Like if you are a woman and you're having especially one of those down days, sometimes it's good to actually check where you're at in your cycle, because I definitely know for me, the week leading up to my period and my period, I am not my best. I cannot lift as heavy at the gym. I feel way more off. Yet when you're kind of in that ovulation stage, you're like, I can take on the world. Like, you've just got this whole different kind of mindset. And so I've actually noticed when I'm having some of those cycles of like, oh, is this worth it or not? I actually have to look and go, oh, my period's about to come, or I'm on my period. And it's just like, it's not blaming that for everything, but it's just taking into account that like your hormones are all over the place. You're just in a different kind of season right now. Like wait another week or two until you come into that other thing, and then reevaluate. Like just
sit on it. Sit on
give
it for a little
yourself that.
bit.
Yeah.
give yourself the grace, 100%. And it's, a lot of my girlfriends say the same thing. They're like, oh my God, I'm ready to like kill my boyfriend. Or like, like you're just so like, over it.
You chewed with your mouth open once and I was just ready to break up with you.
For real. You didn't
Oh,
put that plate in the fucking dishwasher? Done.
yeah,
Like, yeah. Have a look at the biological clock and what's going on. That will definitely help as well. Yeah.
definitely. Okay, this is my favorite part of the episode. This is when we wrap up because we're going to
Ooh.
do a rapid quick fire round of questions. So
Okay.
I'm just going to ask you a bunch of questions. You don't have to give a whole story. I just want
Yep.
like a quick response pretty
Okay.
much.
All right. Let's hit me.
All right, so question 1, what's one thing people assume about you that couldn't be further from the truth?
Oh, shit. Okay. I don't know. I've been told that I'm very intimidating. I don't know why. I don't know. What would people think about me that's further from the truth, that I'm intimidating or that maybe like I'm an asshole?
It's the start of every good friendship. You're like, I thought you were a bitch, but you had that like RBF and it was like, you're actually the nicest person.
See, yeah, I think it's because I have a good injector and so the Botox kicks in.
I don't even get injections and I just have an RBF 24/7. So I
That's
swear
wild.
nice. It's just like, just have that.
Yeah.
Also, when you're focusing and you're just like you're
Yes.
trying to listen in on someone, and then they're like, "Why are you looking at me like that?" No, I'm just listening.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm not being quiet. I'm just listening. Like, there's a difference. Yeah.
If you could go back and give your 15-year-old YouTube self one warning, what would it be?
Buckle up. Buckle up. If I could give him a warning, don't get so in your own fucking head. It's not all about you. Like, just relax. Like, it's going to be all right.
I love that. Straight to the point.
Yeah.
What's the most underrated beauty product?
Ooh. Okay, it's been discontinued, so I don't know if I should speak on it. But the Sports Girl complexion ones, I have a bone to pick with Sports Girl because they discontinued them. They are the highlighters. They're liquid cream highlighters. They are just chef's kiss. Like, they blend like a dream. You can put them over powder. They blend out beautifully, like a dream, and they discontinue them. So they're probably the most underrated. Never heard anyone talk about them, but I've got like so many backups in my kit now. What else is really underrated? The Rare Beauty blushes. No, I'm kidding. Everyone fucking uses them. What else? Ooh, yeah. I'm happy with that answer. Yeah.
Who's the creator you're loving right now?
Ooh, okay. Kevin Kodra, I'm loving. He's a makeup artist. I think that's his name, Kevin Kodra. I'm also really loving. Let me just double check who's being shown the most in my feed. Because I forget everyone. Mitch Greer, love her. She's a Sydney-based like beauty girl, but she's so freaking funny. Absolutely loving the Lipstick Lesbians. Do you follow them?
Nah, I've never heard of them.
Oh my God. Okay. So they're this couple and they're based in New York, I'm pretty sure. And they are cosmetic chemists or product developers. And they talk really, really in depth about formulations and like how the brand was trying to like do X, Y, and Z and how it backfired and da-da-da. Really, really interesting. Oh my God. This is like a guilty pleasure. Toupee Queen.
What content do they produce?
She is a hairstylist that installs toupees. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It is so interesting because these guys go from like average looking to just gorgeous. And you're like,
how do you do
holy
that?
crap. It's actually wild. Yeah. So Toupee Queen is the last one I'm going to set on. Is there anyone else? That. Yeah, we'll go with that.
What's one thing you've spent way too much money on and you don't regret it at all?
All I can think of is my most recent purchase for the studio. So I bought a bird of paradise, right? Really like nice 2.5 meter tall, gorgeous plant to sit in like the corner. Got it. And it was like $80. Stunning. Cheap. I was like, oh my God, so good. Save money.
Dead?
No, she's still alive. It was it was the vase. It was the vase. It was the pot that I fucking put it in that cost 7 times what the plant cost. And I'm like, that was $500 just on a plant. But I'm like, you know what? She's really pretty. She's tall, she's green, she's lush, she's gorgeous. I'll take the L on that one. Yeah.
It's all for the photosynthesis and the client experience.
Photosynthesis, literally. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
like fresh air in this salon.
Yeah. Yeah. Just what doesn't look so like clinical, you know, you need a little bit of life.
What is the biggest lesson you've learned the hard way?
Okay, we're going to get deep. Don't confuse your anxiety and intuition together, because your intuition will never make you make decisions out of like a rush. Your anxiety will. And I've fucked that up a few times.
Wow, that's actually really valuable advice. I'd never even thought of it like that. Like you can feel so anxious about something because you're not in the right state of mind, but intuition is like, this isn't right because, yeah.
Exactly. Intuition will never rush you. Anxiety will. Yeah.
Love it. What's your go-to hype song when you need to psych yourself up for something big?
Oh, okay. Let me just quickly jump on my playlist. Hold on.
It's not WAP.
It's definitely not WAP. I would say, okay, it's by this artist called Cobra, and it's called Feminine Energy. It's just like, it's really clubby. It just gets you like pumped up. Yeah.
I love it. I'll have to have a listen after this. What's something you wish more people knew about the beauty industry?
Ooh, it's more than just makeup. It's more than just a brow. It's more than just a lash. A lot of people think that it's a sense of vanity. And I guess if you look at it through that lens, yeah, it is. But I think that a lot of people don't realize that for some of our clients, it's the only time in their fortnight or in their month that they really get 20 minutes or half an hour or an hour or two to just sit and just be, because they've got they've you know, because they're working full time, they've got 3 kids and a husband and like, because life just gets so busy for so many people, for everyone. I think that's something that I wish people knew more about. A lot of people think it's just a lash lift, but you know, we have clients coming in saying, some of the conversations we have are just wild. Like some people are coming in saying, I just broke up with I'm getting a divorce. I have some people coming in saying, I'm moving to Europe. I left my abusive boyfriend. I just had my first baby. I'm engaged. Like, so many like highs and lows. And that's what I love the most about it. That's what I love the most about it. It's the people. It's people. Yeah.
It's people, but I'm introverted.
It's people.
I love the energy, but I'm exhausted.
I'm introvert.
I'm all the things at once.
Yeah, I think that's called ADHD. I don't know.
I know. I feel that with coaching too. Like, I love helping people and I love being able to support them. But don't get me wrong. Like, when you hear all people's problems and stuff, I used to dissociate really hard, but I realized that that's actually not healthy, because then I'm not feeling my own emotions and things. So it's like finding that balance between holding space with people, but then
holding space,
also being able to be for yourself.
The holding space, going back to like Ariana. Have you seen the interview where Ariana's like had no idea what holding space meant?
No.
Oh my God, go watch it. Okay, Graham Norton, Ariana Grande, holding space. Watch it after this. It's hysterical. Okay. So good. But no, I completely agree with what you mean. Yeah, I know.
And then last question is, what's one piece of advice that changed everything for you?
Ooh. Oh my God, there's so much. Okay, hold on.
You can only do one. You can't give me 10.
Oh, damn
like
it,
your
man.
Creators.
Okay.
Choose one.
All
Most
right.
impactful.
I would say, okay, no. Okay. I was going to say one and then be like, but like, that's obvious. Here's another one. Energy flows where your attention goes. Because that's just in all aspects of your life. And like, that comes back to also confirmation bias and like a whole other like bunch of things. But if you want to see the best in a situation, you will see the best in a situation. If you want to see more money in your bank account, more money will come to you. You just need to put the goggles on so you can actually see it happening for you. Yeah. And I think that rings true for the good and the bad. If you were to believe that your friend is talking shit behind your back, then you're probably going to find things that prove that to be true. And the brain does the same thing for good as well. So you got to try and like always switch it to the positive is what has really helped me. Does that make sense?
So much sense. And I'm even thinking like, what you engage with on social media will then influence the algorithm and what it shows you. So if you're commenting on a lot of negative stuff, or you're seeing really scary conspiracy theories, or, you know, anything like that, if you engage with that, then that tells the algorithm, and then the algorithm starts to show you more of that. Same thing with the whole universe and law of attraction.
It's like the life algorithm. Yeah, it's like the yeah, absolutely.
I love that. I need to do a collaborated post, the life algorithm. Here's what you may not be realizing about how you engage, how you consume stuff.
Yeah.
Jacob, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story so openly. Your journey is such a powerful reminder that success isn't just about what you do. It's also about who you become along the way. If you've loved this episode, please make sure to share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to tag us at Beauty Industry Leaders and at That's So Jacob. Did I get it right?
And that's Jacob.
And that's Jacob. And that's So Jacob. Well, there we go.
Close.
And that's Jacob. I was so close. I had at Jacob Stella, and I'm like, it's definitely not Jacob Stella. So we can hear what you think. Put up a screenshot on your stories and tag us. What's your biggest key takeaway? Yes. We love to have the conversations in the DMs. Until next time, keep leading with purpose and building a business that's truly unforgettable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Sammy. Bye.
Audience exclusive.